All right, can you introduce yourself?
I am Ignacio Frank Chiarino, Claire's grandfather.
Um, we're gonna talk about the Cold War, and when were you born?
I was born in 1938, long before the Cold War,
Where did you grow up?
in Detroit, Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
on Cooper Avenue.
Where was that in Detroit?
It's on the east side of Detroit.
Do you remember ever hearing about like the USSR?
Not till I was older.
What do you remember about it?
Well, at the end of World War II, they were instrumental in beating up on the Germans in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very nasty people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where do you remember hearing about them in like the Cold War between the U.S. and the USSR?
Newspaper and television, news reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember being like scared of them, or what were your feelings?
Mostly scared of maybe being wiped out by the atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm. How did you react to like the nuclear threats?
Well, whatever happens, happens. You just can't go through life just worrying about something that might happen.
Do you remember doing any drills?
Drills, I think in school, but that was during the war, during the World War II. And yeah, after that, yeah, I remember, and they used to make us go under our desk and stuff like that, just as a practice.
Mm-hmm.
So not anything since though.
Yeah.
Okay.
What like historic people do you remember?
Ooh. Eisenhower, he was president, and Jack Kennedy, he's president, and Nixon the crook. That's basically what I remember.
Do you remember the space race?
Oh yeah. First, 1969, they shot people to the moon. I mean, we watched it, on television.
You watched it?
Yeah, on television. In July, I think it was July the 20th, 1969.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember anything about like East and West Germany and how that was going over in Europe?
Okay, well, I remember in 1989 when the Berlin Wall came down,
Mm-hmm.
and that was facilitated by Ronald Reagan and the Pope at that time. They had a lot to do with that. So it was a very, very nice time to free those people from, that bondage with Russia.
Mm-hmm. What did you think about Kennedy as a person and as a president?
Well, as a person, the facts came known that he wasn't very, let's say, moralistic.
Mm-hmm.
As a president, he faced the Cuban crisis, and he worked that out pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
What was it like growing up in Detroit?
Oh, great! We had nice streets, nice trees. Got to go to play baseball in the street, roller skate in the street, which nobody does anymore. It was great.
It's got all the questions I have. Really answer things quick.
Well, you need more context.
Yeah. Do you remember about World War II?
At the end, not really, other than having to go outside and the air raid warnings would go off, as a practice. Then we would all go outside. We have to turn all the lights off in the house and just wait there till the siren says clear. So it was basically a practice to make sure everybody was alert.
Which decade were you a teenager in?
I think in the 50s. in the 50s. I was a teenager.
What was your first job and how old were you when
My
you got
first
it?
job was working with my grandfather on the vegetable truck. And I think I was maybe 11 or 12. And we used to go peddling fruits and vegetables around Detroit. And then I would go stay with him at his farm in Utica. Sometimes he would drop me off at 8 Mile and Van Dyke and take the bus home. And he'd have to give me a big bag of groceries to take home. And sometimes they were wet and the bag would tear and I'd have to scramble to pick them all up and get home with them. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was great. In the summer, especially in the summertime, you know. And then in the wintertime, we'd go out too. He had a panel truck that my dad and his brothers fixed, so it was all the vegetables were enclosed in the truck. They made a body, a shell for the truck, so that he could go out in the wintertime and pedal. So that was a lot of fun too.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
What were your favorite types of music, or what would you listen to?
Well, back then mostly rock and roll. I wasn't too much into polkas or waltzes, and basically popular music. Let's say that. I like all kinds of music, but mostly popular music.
Did you collect like records or?
Yep. My best record was Pres Prado. Let's see if I can remember the name of it. Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White. I used to play that, just drive the family crazy. Played it every 5 minutes. That was my favorite at that time. But I have lots of favorites now.
Do you remember a lot about the civil rights movement?
Yeah, I remember about Selma and stuff like that, and Martin Luther King being shot, and it's just about that.
Yeah. Do you remember like a lot about Martin Luther, and did you like hear speeches, or
Yeah.
were they televised?
Yes, I believe they were. And I think I watched them, yeah. Yeah, I thought he was pretty straightforward guy trying to make things better for black people.
Yeah. Do you remember about the Detroit riots?
Yes. I was on vacation and they started, and I spent 2 weeks in the house going nowhere because the riots were going on. But, it was not a nice time.
Yeah.
It was not nice for anybody. So, I'm glad they're over. I hope we don't ever have one again.
Do you remember about the assassination of JFK?
Oh yeah, I was sitting at my desk. I think it was on a Friday, or maybe a Friday or Thursday, I don't remember. And all of a sudden, the news came through somehow into the office. How it got there, I don't know, but it was pretty scary. Not a nice thing. Not a nice thing. Very bad.
Where'd you work at the time?
Saffron Printing Company in Detroit, on Bellevue and Gratiot.
What'd you do there?
I was an accountant.
You
I
count.
did journal entries, and I did depreciation and all kinds of different jobs involved with accounting.
Did you have any favorite actors or movies?
Movies. I used to like war movies. And my favorite actor is probably John Wayne. And cowboy. I like cowboy movies. My brother and I used to go to the show on Saturday afternoons. And we'd stay there all day. And then my mom and dad would come in at night and we'd still be there. It was weird. But we had a good time. So yeah, I like movies a lot.
Do you remember a lot about like the culture of the time, like styles and?
Mm, not really. Not really. I just wore just normal clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing special that I wore.
What do you remember about high school?
High school? Well, I liked sports. I made first team shortstop freshman year. But then my mom and dad said I needed to get a job, so it helped support. So I went to work for G&M Market on Harper and Barrett in Detroit. And so I didn't play sports anymore, except intramural sports when they had them at the high school. So that's basically what we did.
What did you like? What did you go do after school other than work?
After school, well, we usually went to the recreation center, and if it was winter time, we played hockey. You know, no skates because nobody knew how to skate. Or we played in the street with the ice, ice street. After school, we would, play. If it was warm, we played baseball on the street. If it was cold, we played hockey, and that's about it. I'm not a good basketball player, so I never played basketball.
No.
But we played football too, at the recreation center. We had a nice recreation center on Cooper and on McClellan. It was about 2 blocks from school, so we always met there to play games like football, baseball, and hockey. Handball, you did a lot of handball. They had a nice handball part too, so we did that. I like playing handball. Very good.
Like, okay, so because I'm learning about history now, what types of history did you learn about in high school?
Ancient history.
Ancient history.
Ancient history. And I think the Renaissance. Nothing about current history like World War I or World War II. There wasn't too much history about that time. So that was that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because now I'm learning about like stuff that happened in like the 2000s when I've been alive, and then you were alive, learning about World War II, and it was current. I think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But it was interesting though, right?
Yeah.
We were very fortunate to win that war.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. A lot of people died for no good reason. That war was just terrible.
Yeah.
If people wanted to get along, there wouldn't be any war, right? They weren't worried about being in power. So that's my thought.
Okay, I think that's good.